the rows between them, and the tables. When we count these, there are 11. You could see the diagram here. What we call this is enhanced entity relationship diagram. So what this, you can also call this an ERD, entity relationship diagram, table relationship diagram. Entity can mean table in SQL. So this diagram simply shows the relationship each tables have between themselves. So we could count, because we have 11 tables in our Northwind database: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then when you hover on any table, you can see the relationship it has. You can see what table it is linked to. So when you hover here, you see that this the shippers table is linked to the orders table. When you hover on orders, you see that it is linked to order details. It is also linked to customers table. It is linked to shippers. It is linked to products. It is linked to employees. So when you hover, so this basically shows you relationship. Now, when I look at these shippers, I can say that the shippers table has a one-to-many relationship. How do I know that the shippers table have a one-to-many relationship? It is this symbol. It is by the symbol. You see that there are symbols at the bottom of each table. So let me make this a bit bold. So you see that this has a double, should I say equal to sign on top of the dotted line. This equal to sign simply means a one relationship. So where the relationship between the shippers and the orders table is a one-to-many relationship. How do I know that? I know this by simply hovering on it and looking at the line. You see that when I hover on it, it highlights the line. I can't, when I remove my mouse, it doesn't highlight anymore, but you can see. You see that this, let me remove this from the way so it doesn't confuse you. So when I hover on this, you see that it is connected to this table. And this symbol, the fork symbol, the fork symbol simply means many. So the relationship this share is a one-to-many relationship. So MySQL have made it in a way that you don't have to even sit down and start analyzing each entity to understand their relationship. MySQL uses indications like this to help us identify, relationships between tables. So what this means is one shipper can be related to multiple orders, right? Like one shipping company or one company, shipping company can process tens and hundreds and thousands of orders, right? But one order cannot have multiple shipping company at the same time. Like a particular order cannot have several shipping. So this is what one-to-many relationships look like in business. So we can also see region when we hover on region, the region entity, we see that it has a one-to-many relationship, and we can see that this is our primary key and this is our foreign key. The region ID is the same with here. The region ID in the regions table and the region ID in the territories table is the same, but the region ID being in the region table means that the region, this column is a primary key. It is indicated by a key, golden key icon. This is a golden key icon. Once you see a golden key icon, just know that that's the primary key of the table. And then this is the foreign key. It's a foreign key because it's a primary key that is not in its own table, it is in another table. So it's just like you traveling to the USA. You are a foreigner in the USA. So this is a foreigner in the territories table. And that's how we see relationships. So if we want to join these two tables, we can actually join the tables using the region ID key.